Welcome to hole number 1 of the miniature golf unit. As you go through this series of videos, please keep in mind that I'm trying to work through the videos quickly to keep the file size and upload time to a minimum. So, if at any point you need to rewind or if you need to pause the video to have time to copy vocabulary, please do that. Today's video is a total of 6 slides. You'll have this introduction slide, and then you'll have a vocabulary slide, a diagram slide, vocabulary diagram, and then an assignment slide. Please make sure that you have your guide to the course printed out and that you are filling it in as you go. And again, if you need to pause for more time to copy the vocabulary, please do that. Once you have this all filled in, check with me before you can go to the printer, and then you can pull off the assignment sheet that goes with hole number 1. Please copy the vocabulary shown on this slide here, and again, if you need to pause the video to have enough time to do that, please do so. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next slide. Again, you can pause it and then you can unpause it when you have copied it, just trying to keep the video size down. Down at the bottom of your diagram, you should be drawing diagrams, and there's a diagram that goes with each vocabulary word, and I'm going to draw them up here and you can just go ahead and copy them in. So a point is shown with a dot, and it's marking a location in space. We label those points with capital letters, so we would name this point A. A line is, by definition, a series of points in space that go on forever in both directions. So I'm drawing this freehand. If I had a ruler, the line would be much nicer. But you can see, to name a line, I must have at least 2 points on that line. And this is what we call line AB. And I would label that with an A and a B. And I put my little line above my AB, and this is how I represent line AB. You may also see people actually put the points in. I don't necessarily care if you do or not. A ray has one endpoint, and then the ray continues through another point and goes on forever in that direction. Again, we need 2 points to name this ray. We'll call this C and D, and to show this in a shorthand style, this would be ray CD. I'm going to put my end point, and then I'm going to draw my arrow, and notice over here my end point is with C and my end point is with the C. The other point with the arrow is with the D, and you can see that there. If I would have named this DC, that would actually be incorrect, because that shows the endpoint over D where my endpoint is actually over my C. So that is incorrect, and this is correct. A segment is a portion of a line that has 2 endpoints. We'll call this segment EF, and I show that with an E and an F and a segment mark above it. And again, you can put the endpoints on that segment mark. I don't necessarily care if you do, or if you just leave it a short segment with no endpoints shown. This is another slide of vocabulary. Again, pause it if you need to, but I'm going to go ahead and click on to the next slide so that I can keep the file size down. A plane is very hard to draw a diagram of, but essentially what it is, the way I think about it, is an infinitely thin sheet of glass that goes on in every direction. It can't be seen, but it's two-dimensional and it's completely flat, but it goes on in every direction forever. Intersecting lines would be a series of lines, 2 or more, that intersect. Intersect just means to cross, and in life we have intersections in our road system where 2 roads cross, and we can actually have multiple lines intersect at that same intersection point. We can actually have infinitely many lines intersect there if I could keep drawing more and more lines going through that point. Parallel lines are two lines that go on forever in exactly the same directions and would never cross each other. So if we call this line HI and line JK, we could actually say that line HI is parallel to line JK. Skew lines, I'm going to draw kind of a 3D cube here. Skew lines are probably the most complex term in this unit. And skew lines are basically lines that do not lie in the same plane. But two questions that you can ask yourself is, do the two lines intersect? Or are the two lines parallel to each other? So this line right here would be skew to this segment. Sorry, the segment here would be skewed to this segment because the two segments do not touch each other and they are not parallel to each other. That is an example of two that are skew. This one and this one would not be skew because they're parallel, and this and this would not be skew because they're intersecting. So the red lines are skew lines, the yellow are not, the blue are not. Perpendicular lines, two lines that cross forming a 90-degree angle. We will call this line L and M. It's a 90-degree angle. We'll indicate with the marking. We will call this N, O. And we can say that line LM is perpendicular to line NO. Once you have all of this done, you have completed the video for the first hole. Go ahead and get back on the website, print off the homework sheet, bring me your guide to the course and show me that you have it filled in, and I will allow you to go to the printer and get started. Thank you.